Hello, everybody. Back again tonight. I'm going to be talking about the Book of Expert Secrets and the introduction of Russell Brunson. So whoever want to join in with me on tonight, they can as well. On last night, I did the introduction, and I'm going to finish talking about Russell Brunson introducing himself in the Expert Secrets and how you build your business online. On the third day of spring break, after we'd watched about a dozen movies, we decided we had to get out of the house and do something. That's when Nate said, "Hey, we should make a potato gun." And a potato gun, I haven't never heard of a potato gun before. I had heard of potato guns before, but I never actually seen one. He told me how you could make them by gluing PVC pipes together. When they're dry, you jam a potato down the barrel, spray hairspray into the chamber, create a little spark, and shoot them a few hundred yards. I was so excited I could barely contain myself. Don't y'all try this at home. There was only one problem. We didn't know how to make one, so we found some websites that had free potato gun plans. During our research, we found out a bunch of interesting things. We learned you had to have the correct barrel to chamber volume ratio or your potatoes wouldn't shoot very far. That's just like setting up your website. You have to have the right system in place and the right sales funnel in order to earn income. We learned you had to you had to have the correct barrel chamber, the volume ratio on your potato wouldn't shoot very far. We found out the right propellant to use, the correct pressure for the pipes, and lots of other important details. We also learned how to keep ourselves safe, meaning which kinds of pipes and products would blow up and which ones wouldn't. I didn't take long before we knew a ton of great information about a potato gun. Armed with this information, we were ready to make our first gun. So we went to Home Depot and bought the pipes, glue, barbecue, ignitions, and other things we needed. This is a picture of the potato gun that Russell made right here. I don't know if you all can see it or not, but that's a picture of the potato gun. We found a scheduled location and started shooting it. We had one of the best times of our lives. It was so much fun. We spent the rest of the week making more guns, trying out other plans, and even creating some designs of our own. During that week, we learned more about potato guns than 95% of the world would ever know. In fact, you might say we became experts. The next Monday, when school started back up, I remember sitting in a finance class wishing I was out shooting potato guns. And I had a flash of inspiration. I thought, I wonder if anyone else besides me searched for information on how to make potato gun plans last weekend. That right there, I have no idea what that has to do with setting up a system, but it goes on in to tell us in further details, which we're going to find out in this book. There are places online where you can see how many searches in Google are happening each month. So I went to one of those websites, typed in the keywords potato gun, and found that over 1,800 people that month had searched for the phrase potato gun plans. At that time, there was no products, no plans, and no other experts out there teaching people about potato guns. There was a lot of free stuff, but nothing for sale. I offered to meet that this day chance This was the opportunity to become an expert in potato guns and to sell my advice. I figured I knew about as much as any other potato gun expert out there. So I needed to do what was create a product and sell it. I called Nate and convinced him to help me record a demo of us making a potato gun. We borrowed a little video camera and drove to Home Depot. When we got there, started filming someone asked us what we are doing. We told them we are recording a video about making potato guns. Apparently, Home Depot didn't want that type of liability, and they threw us out. So we drove to the next Home Depot in town, and this time we went to the still mode. I hid the camera under my Lord, the page is sticking together. Jacket, then pulled it out, started recording what we were buying as we bought the pipes, barbecue ignitions, and propellants. We returned home and filmed ourselves assembling the guns. We described each step as we did it, shared the secret barrel to chamber volume ratios we discovered, told them about the favorite propellants, and instructed them how to keep safe. Eventually, we had a video explaining the whole process. Then we turned out homemade videos into a DVD to sell online. Did you catch this? While I never became a millionaire as a potato gun expert, we made sales. In fact, we averaged anywhere from $20 to $30 a day selling that product, which was huge for a couple of college kids. It completely transformed my life and helped me understand the power of an expert business. Now, inspiring as selling potato gun DVDs can be, I believe the true value of an expert business isn't the money you make, but the people's lives you're able to change through your message. And while the people who bought my DVDs were able to have a great time making potato guns, I felt like what I had learned from the process of selling my first information product was just a stepping stone for something bigger, something I was meant to do. Little did I know at that time that this was where my real journey would begin, a journey that had lasted over a decade. That's amazing how he started a potato gun to start out his business. It's amazing what you can do to start out your own business. That's why I said, did you catch that? I started to find other experts in areas of life that fascinated me. We took their message and promoted them through expert secret systems I was developing. Many of the early projects we worked on failed. And you're going to have your failures in your business. But it's up to you not to give up, but move on forward like I'm doing. A journey that has lasted over a decade now. I started to find other experts in the areas of life that fascinated me. We took their message and promoted them through expert secret systems I was developing. Many of the early projects we worked on failed. But with each failure came a lesson on what worked on, more importantly, what didn't work. In other words, he was working on what was working importantly for him right now and what didn't work. And that's the way it is in the online world. You have to do what's going to work for you and let go of what's not going to work for you. But with each failure came a lesson on what worked and, more importantly, what didn't work. I became obsessed with why people buy and what you can do to influence their persuasion decisions. Even more rewarding was the impact that the right message can have on someone at the right time in their life. Like when someone is trying to lose weight and they find an expert who resonates with them, inspires them, and gives them the right opportunity to finally make that change. Or the person who is trying to do better in school, or a couple trying to strengthen their marriage, or an entrepreneur who wants to grow a company. We need help to grow, and we seek our experts for help. One of our companies help people overcome pornography addiction. We partnered with an expert creating information product and started selling it online. Our messages landed in hands of men who were struggling with addiction. Wives and mothers found out courses, used them to better understand the people they love who struggle with this addiction. We started to make money, but more importantly, we watched as marriages were saved, families was repaired, and people's lives were changed forever. That was a real impact, and that was powerful. That is what this book is about. Yes, if you follow this system, then you will make money. But that is not the point. That is merely the byproduct of helping others. Zig Ziglar once said, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want." And that is so very true. But we got some out here don't want to help each other. But in this business, we're all about communication and helping one another to grow and move forward, and passing it on to someone else to help them grow their business as well. And this is the end of the introduction of Russell Brunson that I'm going to be reading tonight. And the next chapter, we will be reading the 2 types of expert businesses. So I hope y'all got some educational information on tonight. And we will continue the book of Expert Secrets on tomorrow by Robert Kiyosaki and Russell Brunson, the Underground Playbook. And have a great night.